Alright. Good after morning. Let me preface this by saying this is one of those that actually this is one of those I wasn't even going to film. This is going to be a simple in and out. It's an older car. There was a misfire. Nothing crazy. I'm going to fix it and send it out. And I didn't fix it. Now I'm gonna. And well, I'll just back up. It's a 2000 Maxima 3-liter. Came in with a new customer. New customer came in with a check engine light running like poo. I learned afterwards it had been at another mechanic of sorts a couple months ago who put a set of plugs at it with the hope that it would fix it. I'll give him the credit that he did at least put the correct plugs in, because anybody that knows these knows they're very particular with having the right stuff in it. You know, it may run right, but it'll throw misfire codes if you put a cheaper plug in and all that other stuff. So he at least put an NGK plug in. It is the right number. I did check it. They weren't gapped. They were a little off on the gap. I'm guessing he probably took them out of the box and just said, you know, in they go. That's just a guess. I'm not looking to knock anybody, but they were, you know, 4 or 5 thousandths off on the gap. I straightened the gap out, put them back in, and I'm jumping ahead, so I apologize. So the car comes in. I do the quick scan. No, I'm not going to back up over all of that. P1320, which is a primary ignition fault. Nissan was nice enough to not break it down for us. Same code applies for all 6 cylinders. You figure it out. It also had a P1300 for a random misfire. It also has a P0420. One of the cats. An efficient cat. I'm guessing because the car's been running like poo long enough, it probably fouled the cat. That's usually the scenario, right? Bulletins all over the place on these. You know, anytime you get one of these bad coils, misfires, change all the plugs, change all the coils, change them as a set. Yeah, which sounds like let's launch the parts cannon at it, but they had a lot of problems with the coils. And the way this P1320 works, again, it's not pointing to a single coil. Well, it is, but it's not telling you which one. You got to figure it out. And along the lines of, if one's bad, they're probably all going bad, or, you know, whatever the case may be. This is according to Nissan. Experience tells us change them as a set. Okay, so I did go ahead and do a power balance test on it. I figured out that it was in fact the number 4 cylinder, no doubt. You know, killing each cylinder one at a time. Number 4 cylinder does nothing to contribute. Nonetheless, I get approval. 6 coils. I leave the plugs alone. Like I said, I re-gapped them. I torqued them down nice. I ordered 6 coils. Here's where the mistake comes in. I didn't order good coils. I didn't order the OE coils. And here's where this debate comes in. You know, OE aftermarket, and we've all heard it. I think Eric addressed this on his live stream a week or 2 ago. Somebody asked about OE aftermarket. Really a difference? Yes, there is. Does that mean you have to go OE? Depends on the part. Is this one of those cases? I'm sure you guys will argue it. I didn't. I went with a known lesser brand. Not cheap. I didn't go cheap, like, you know, give me the cheapest crap you got. I said, give me... Is that a bad word? We'll have to deal with it. I didn't go with the cheapest poop part. I went with a cheaper, known, what was available. Shame on me. That's what I did. I ordered them. I put them in. Car runs great. As far as the cat code, we've already addressed, and I've spoken to the customer. We're going to fix the running problem first. Let him drive it, and then we'll address the cat issue afterwards. It's not clogged. It's inefficient. And I really want to fix the running issue first, one thing at a time, and I'll come back and we'll address the exhaust issue. Okay, so I sort of set of coils in it, and, you know, I re-gapped the plugs, and the car runs great. first key cycle, I get a pending 1320. Second key cycle, it comes back. First thing that comes to my mind is I should have put a better coil in it, right? It's got to be a bad coil. I almost thought to go down a rabbit hole of, well, maybe it's a harness issue, maybe it's a... And I stop. I make the phone call that I don't want to make because I know he's got better things to do than hear me, but I call him up anyway. I call Keith. I said, I know what you're going to tell me. I know you're going to yell at me, but I just want to hear you say it. Here's what I got. Here's what I did. He says, you should get better coils. I said, yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Okay. I guess I just want to hear somebody else say it. But I want to see it. Right? You always want, you don't want to go, well, let's just throw coils at it and see what happens. I don't want to do that. I want to see it. I want to know the strategy. I looked up code setting criteria, which is kind of vague. And I know this has been addressed before, so before people start jumping on this, oh, there's an old card, I went over this 100 times. I haven't. Because I can tell you what, I'm doing this 33 years, and one thing I'm sure of is, I'm not that smart. And I'm learning every day, and I'm, 19-year-old car, and I still want to know, I'm not going to see a whole lot of these anymore, but I still want to know how it works. Because it all applies, right? And I'm going to share it with you. And so, for those that think like, oh, great tech, no, I don't know everything. I'm far from it, far from it. So, but I want to know. I want to see it. I want to put my finger on it and go, aha, there it is. That's the problem, right there, 100%. I'm comfortable pulling these coils out and putting better coils in it. So I have new coils. They're not OE. They are, I'm not going to say, well, yeah, I'm not going to say name brand. I don't want to start doing that. Because I'm not going to knock the brand they're pulling out and blah, blah, blah. But these are a OE level coil. Because obviously Nissan doesn't make their own coil, so they mix it for them. And that's what I have here. What did I do? Well, let me show you. Alright, well, after some collaboration with a few of our friends, because I was getting a bit frustrated with the testing procedures that were kind of non-existent in the information that I have, other than check resistance of coils without giving you an actual value, that kind of helpless junk. I put a, hold on, what do we do? Back out. Amp clamp around the ground cable for all of the coils and a trigger on number 2. Alright. Here's where I shot it. Green being our trigger on number 2. And there's our 6 events. Here's 2, right? Firing orders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that being number 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Simple enough. What repeats? Can I go a little deeper? Sure. Looks like on number 3, we're drawing a little more resistance than the rest, without measuring actual values and applying the simple one of these things is not like the other. Kind of like you were a kid, right? In your little cartoons on Saturday morning. One of these things is not like the other. Number 3 don't look right. And I'm happy with that. Well, I'm not happy, but I'm happy I could see it. I could put my finger on it and go, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. And the others, it's spot on. So that's where I'm going with it. I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to swap out my coils, and I will repeat the test because the customer is waiting patiently because he really wants his car back. So, hang tight. All right. Oh, looky. So new coils are in, and we ran same test, same trigger, same settings, and look how much nicer that looks. Feeling confident? Yeah. Feeling a little better about the situation? Yeah. Yeah, because I wasn't feeling too good. I mean, I Yeah, we know it's a bad set of coils, right? But we want to see it. It makes us feel better. Even with a radiator leak. I mean, this is, you know, for guys that are doing even the simpler stuff, you don't have an oscilloscope, DIYers, you're doing, you know, or an AC leak, right? Oh, I think it's a condenser. It looks like see green, you know, green dye under the condenser. But you really want to see exactly where it's coming out. It makes you feel better. You can put your finger on and go right there. That's where it's bad. And you go, 100%. I see it. I know it. That makes me feel better, right? So let's go reset it. And I hate to even do this. Let's reset it and see what happens, right? But you do. You do. And I don't care how long you're doing this, you know, there's always that little bit that goes, you know, I'm sure, I hope. Let's go reset it. Let's take a test drive. Get this guy's car back. Yeah, we're going to use my nifty difty, real old little, nothing but a code reader thing. Yeah, I think everybody's got one of these. I just like it because it clears it real quick, and it's, you know, it's not bulky. I ain't got to worry about it kicking it, stepping on it like my Auto, and it does what it needs to do. And I can see it quick with my big old eyes. So let's take this thing. Yeah, it's a silly little code reader, but you know what? Like I said, I don't step on it, and it's simple enough, and it's easy to read. And just for the sake of taking it for a road test, trying to clear the monitors, it works. So I hang on to it. We'll do a quick shot around the highway. See if we get this monitors to clear. I'm curious if this cat light comes back. I'm anticipating it will. The customer understands it, but like I said, the big thing was let's address this running issue, because to me that was important, and to him. Well, the road test is done. Check engine light stayed off. No more 1320. No more misfire. The car runs great. I'm anticipating that inefficient cat code to come back. Like I said, the owner's aware of it. It didn't come back yet. I didn't get all the monitors to clear. You know, miserable day. Traffic starting up, so I'm not going to get much more of a road test than I did. What's the takeaway from it, right? We always, I try to have a takeaway from this. What's the message? What's the lesson? Trust your gut. My gut said order brand A. Brand A wasn't available, so I went with brand B, and it bit me. And then it had me questioning myself. So, Lou's here. Lou, come on in. You want to be in a video?
Do I want to be in a video?
Right? Same exact code came back for a different cylinder. We proved that with the oscilloscope, which was kind of neat, and that was a takeaway for me. You know, I got a little more, use your tool, get a little more comfortable with it. I got more comfortable with it. I could prove it out. I could put my finger on it and go, there it is right there. That felt great. Unfortunately, the video wasn't as much of a hands-on walkthrough style video, because I was already halfway through it when I started shooting the video, so I apologize. It's mostly me standing here like a schmuck, just talking to you, trying to get the message across. One thing I did do, and I didn't film it, but I'll explain. I did check the resistance of the coils. The original ones, brand B, that is going back as defects, or return. I'm going to return the one is a defect, whatever. They're going back. So I thought it was interesting. I just trying to compare. Like I said, I couldn't find a spec on the coils. They tell you check resistance. They don't tell you what it's supposed to be. I don't know whose idea that is. That's because the people that make the flow charts aren't the people that build the vehicles. That's another discussion. The only thing I did find, I have like one of the original known good coils. I did that original number 4 coil that I know was bad, that was causing the misfire. I did that number 3 coil, the new one, that we proved was causing the light to come back. And then I did one of the new coils that just went in, which the brand I should have went with originally, right? So I did like 4 of them. I did prove that number 4 coil that was causing the misfire did have a completely open circuit where it should have had about 1300 ohms. And I say should have because that's what all the other ones had. So I know that coil was bad. The number 3 coil that we determined was that new bad coil that we determined was bad, right? The only thing I found on that was the resistance was a little bit low. You know, I was checking both sides, power to ground, power through the signal circuit, you know, checking it. There's 3 terminals. I was checking it each way. It was a little bit lower resistance than the others. And again, sometimes if we don't know the spec, like on the oscilloscope, I didn't know what exactly was I was supposed to be looking at for, but just sometimes it's about comparison. Brandon Steckler's pressure waveform acquisition and analysis class that I've now done twice, he makes a point of saying sometimes it's not about looking at the readings, especially if you're only using a delta sensor. It's just about getting a reading and looking at it and saying, okay, one of these things is different. It's good, 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 bad, good, good, good. So, and that's kind of what we did. Same thing with this, my little resistance check. One of them wasn't like the others. The new coil that I suspected was bad wasn't like the others, which helped me, which is another arrow in the target. Again, that's a Brandon Steckler line, right? You can't hang a hat on any one thing. Just throw, you know, as long as you get an arrow on the target. Okay, yes, and you keep pointing at the answer until you have enough arrows in the target to say, okay, I'm comfortable. That's our problem, and that's what we did, and that fixed the car. The customer's going to be happy, and I'm happy the car's out, and hopefully I got to share some knowledge with you guys, and that's it. Onward and upward. Guys, I would like to say I just celebrated 1 year with my YouTube channel as of, I think, yesterday or today. So, super cool. 1 year anniversary. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys that have been with me from the beginning. I appreciate you guys that subscribed yesterday. I appreciate the guys that are going to subscribe tomorrow. So, I think it's really cool. I'm having fun. This stuff ain't easy. It takes a lot of time. Takes me away from a lot of other things I need to be doing, but I like doing it. So, thank you. And we'll talk to you soon. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, do all that other stuff. If you got any stickers you want to share, I did attach my P.O. box in the About page. So, anybody got any stickers? I like stickers. Anything else. So, that's cool stuff. I'm looking forward to opening my P.O. box one day and something being in there. Make me feel good. Thanks, guys. Be well. Talk to you soon. All the best.